ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ। शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः, शन्नो भवत्पर्यमा, शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः, शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो, त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि, त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि। ऋतं वदिष्यामि, सत्यं वदिष्यामि, तन्मामवतु, तद्वक्तारमवतु। अवतु माम्, अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ।
Good evening to one and all. I welcome you all to the Focus Assist session. I welcome our speaker for today, PK Ramakrishna sir, on behalf of the institution. I will give you a brief insight about Focus Assist session in Vidyashala. Focus Assist is a motivation and career guidance program for students incorporating the best practices across various disciplines of study. Swamijis, alumnus, and key resource people mentor to the students to widen their intellectual and emotional horizons and deepen their spiritual and cultural connection. Though discussions was a part of Vidyashala campus life for decades, an organized platform was initiated a couple of years ago titled Focus Assist. Now there will be a small presentation on Focus Assist. It gives me great privilege in introducing our speaker for today. PK Ramakrishna sir, who hails from Kolar with a postgraduate in organic chemistry from Manasa Gangotri. He has varied expertise in electrochemical and aromatic industries, starting his own aromatic unit called Flower Synth in Mysore in 1981. This caters to about 100 perfumery, chemical industries like agarbatti, soap and toiletry industries. He also He also evinces interest as an agricultural growth promoter called Wellbloom Agro Products, and he is also the director of the startup Regain Biotech. He is also a member of the American Chemical Society. He is here to talk to us about the topic Neuro Linguistic Programming, where he is a master practitioner of this subject. I invite Sir to begin his talk. Thank you.
Eldrigu namaskara. Good evening. Let me tell you, I've never seen a more interested audience than this one. A wonderful audience. It's a great beginning. Let's see what I can do. Swami Mahipal Anandaji, Swami Yuktesh Anandaji, my friend Prem, and all transformed children of Ramakrishna Vidyashala. It's a great privilege for me, an honor for giving me this opportunity to learn something from you. Wonderful. In fact, the last 1 hour has been extremely good. I've become sort of gone into a rapport with the Swamiji and understood the whole program about your focus. Yeah, you have seen the topic, Neuro Linguistic Programming. You also would have gone to Richard Bandler's website. Yes? No? No? Okay. Richard Bandler, way back in 1975 maybe, saw this neuro-linguistic programming. How simply you can change your perception of life. Your perception of life primarily to become a very good human being, a transformed human being, an excelling human being. Okay? In all, you're doing that in a way in this studies. I have to tell you, my young nephew Siddharth passed through your face for 5 years, and I have come to your ashram every Sunday to meet him in the mornings. It's a wonderful experience. Today he's doing well. He's in Wellbloom Agro Products. He's doing the R&D. Now, just to get you excited, what is neuro-linguistic programming? Neuro, you have just seen, is something to do with the nerves. Linguistic is the language, and programming is conditioning yourself to do something which you think is impossible. Okay? Conditioning yourself to do something which you think is impossible. When I say that, it doesn't mean, sir, I took this goal of going to the sun. Can I do it? No. That's not the idea, okay? You will have to take up some realistic goal. A realistic goal, and you can achieve. With the present condition, you may feel, Ida agutta, ilva, hingagbodu. No, I have no experience in this, no expertise in this. Can I do it or not? All these are there, but using this tool of neuro-linguistic programming, you can do wonderfully well. Let me assure you that. Another example, probably on this line, would be, see, all of you in the 10th standard, you don't have a center here to write SSLC, right? Yeah, you walk it down, okay? All of you are prepared 100% to obtain 100% out of 100 marks. And that is 100 marks out of 100 in any subject. You're walking around, you're going to the center. It could be Nirmala Convent or it could be another school. You're walking and you have to cross a road. This is all hypothesis. Just think for a while. I have to tell you some certain small little conditions. For the time you're here, don't argue with yourself. You just hear what I have to say, go back to your room and think what I have said. and see what happens to you. It is real magic. One of the books Richard Bandler wrote is, the structure of magic. And then frogs into princes, that old story, a frog becomes a prince. And then using your brain for a change, okay? So you are walking on a street, you're going to the examination center, you're 100% sure of getting 100 marks. You're crossing the road, some two-wheeler comes and hits you, you fall. There's a small scratch here and there, a little bit of blood, they patch up everything, you're a little disturbed. You go to the examination hall, and there you are given the question paper, right? Do you think you can perform your 100%? Yes? No? Why no? Because this memory keeps coming into your mind. Why did that fellow hit me? I was so careful. I have seen this side and that side, but somebody hit me. Is there a way of removing this sort of a, memory you can have, the feelings associated with the memory? Like, can you remove that? Now, you just remind me at the end of this, I'll just tell you the trick, how you can do it. Now, this is about neuro-linguistic programming. You can change that concept. There could be many things, like, you're waiting for a bus after you finish your PUC or your engineering, you're waiting for a bus, the bus doesn't come. You're waiting in the railway station, you're waiting for the train doesn't come. You're in the airport, you're waiting for the plane doesn't take off on time. At that point of time, don't you think you'll feel frustrated? With all that art thing, you can wait for 40 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, how can you do it? Is there a way out? Even that I will tell you at the end. So are you all excited? Yes? Yeah. Supposing this program took off in a different way. Richard Bandler is one person who doesn't work structurally. A, B, C, D, he doesn't work. In fact, his literature, if he gives you for a program, and he says, turn to page number 23, you will be searching for page number 23, which it's not in order. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be odd. Somewhere it will be 23. So he doesn't believe in structure. Okay? So, supposing this program took off well, say I assume my friend Prem had to do the vote of thanks in the beginning. Instead of somebody introducing me, Prem came up and said, "Thank you, Mr. Ramakrishna, for the wonderful talk you gave this evening on neuro-linguistic programming." What will happen to me? I'll say, God, I have to give a little more, isn't it? Isn't it? I have to give a little more to what I have prepared. So whenever there is a twist in the structure, something else happens within you. So you will have to employ the trick in tricking your brain. Somebody comes and thanks me in the beginning. Before even my talk, he says, "You have done wonderfully well, sir. My children are so happy," etc., etc., etc. I'm motivated. Motivated so much that I have to give my best, isn't it? So structure sometimes doesn't work. If you go, I'm prepared with a speech, and I go, and then I find that everybody knows something I'm going to talk. Do I think I should continue with the same speech? No, isn't it? So it's like that. So any structured program, yes, whatever is happening in the school, that forms a particular structure. I'm not talking about that. Even in your life, you take up something. I will come to the board in the end. There you will see how simple it is to program yourself to do something which you think is impossible. Okay? Now, you have seen some cricketers play. Yes? They have, somebody keeps some red kerchief here, somebody ties one thread here, somebody ties in the neck. Some of you will be having it, right? Yes, no? You have a sacred thread here? Some thread somebody was given you, or a charm to tie around the neck? Yes? Many of you have. Do you think that works? Do you think that works? Pardon? No, sir. Yes, sir. Now, a person gives you saying. Now, this happened to me when a girl child was in the 9th standard, somebody else's daughter, and she was so scared of mathematics exam. And I go to her and say, look, I have a thread, a powerful thread. I will tie it around your hand. Tomorrow, you'll do your mathematics so easily, you'll get good marks. Uncle, please go and bring it. So I went home, brought a piece of thread, okay, and then very solemnly prayed, and then tied the thread around her hand and said, Ammu, you'll do well tomorrow. You know what happened the day after tomorrow when I met her? Uncle, the questions were easy, and I did well. You think I did anything for her? Nothing I did. Isn't it? It's only that hope, that trust, everything I give you, that push in you to excel. Study part I didn't do, study part she did. Without studying again, you can't do, isn't it? I'll tell you my story about my father. Of course, he's no more today. He had some heart issues. We were going to one particular doctor. And while getting into my car, he'll say, yeah, please hold the door. And he'll walk, this way, slowly open the door. I have to hold his stick. He'll slowly sit down in the car. I will drive the car. My brother will sit behind holding him. Then this doctor was in a second floor of a building. Okay? And he will ask questions like this. Now we are going to that place. Supposing power is not there, how do I go to the second floor? Immediately my brother said, if the power is not there, both of us are there, we'll carry you. And unfortunately, that day power is not there. Okay, we had to put him in a chair and carried him. Okay, we carried him to Dr. Upadhyaya. Upadhyaya checked everything, fine. His ECG, whatever he did. He spent about 40 minutes with him. And you know what he said? Mr. Kannan, everything is good with you. For an 82-year-old man, you're extremely good. Let's meet after 30 days. You know what my father did? He gave the stick to me. And he simply walked off. Now where did that energy come from? His brain. What did the brain tell him? Everything is fine. Don't you think that's magic? He walks down, we come back down the lift. I'd like to eat a masala dosa. Let's go to Das Prakash. A person who is sick is transformed with just words. I can't do it. It has to be somebody else. So like that power of the word and people who push you in life. Now, let's see how we learn. How do we learn? We learn through the 5 senses, isn't it? Eyes to see, nose to smell, yes, tongue to taste, ears to hear, and feeling, okay? You feel with your hands, your skin. Okay, how many of you read aloud while reading in your dormitory, you're reading? How many of you read aloud? Put up your hands maybe. Nobody reading aloud? 1. Yeah, 2, 3. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, thanks. Now, when you read aloud, what happens? You're reading with 2 senses. One is you're seeing the book. Another is you're creating a sound so that you can hear it. Now, normally when you read in 2 modes of senses, your memory power will be good. So some people, can I do it with the smell, sir? Yes, you can do it with the smell. Supposing you take a perfume, put it on a handkerchief and you smell, and you're reading the subject. Okay? Now when you recall, if it's an exam hall and you don't have this smell, the material doesn't come out from your brain. You get stuck. So you can't attach whatever you're reading to the smell. Okay? So like that, something called anchoring. So like that, when I started, cricketers use something and then so many times he'll hit the bat on the pitch. It's 5 times and he's ready to hit, isn't it? Everybody has anchored their full potential onto something. It could be a tapping of the bat, it could be a kerchief, it could be a small charm which he tied around the hand or around the neck, or something, they kiss a piece of cross. Yes? These things work, provided you tell yourself it works. If somebody gives it to you and you feel it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You have to push yourself, to commit yourself to believe that. Okay? Now when I come to belief, let's take another example. All of you brushed your teeth this morning? Yes, yes. Can we imagine how you're brushing your teeth this morning? Can you close your eyes and think about the way you brushed your teeth? You close your eyes and think. Yes? Close your eyes and think where in your mind there is a picture of yourself brushing your teeth. Yes, no? Yes. Okay? Okay? Which side of the brain it is? Which side of your head it is? Some people it will be on the right side, somebody it will be the left side, somebody it will be behind, somebody it will be in front. Yes, no? Yes. Okay. Now supposing I say, look back and see how did you brush your teeth yesterday. You close your eyes and think, how did you brush your teeth yesterday? Yes? You're getting the picture? Yes, you got the picture. Is that picture and this today's picture in the same place? For some people it will be the same place, for some people it will not be in the same place. It will be slightly shifted. Now we'll take another thing. Imagine yourself brushing your teeth tomorrow. Can you think? Just think. Brushing your teeth tomorrow. Yes? Is the picture on the same place? Yes? Okay. Similarly, your belief system. You believe certain things will happen. There will be very strong pictures in one particular place. And some places, beliefs where you don't believe certain things. Like for example, imagine looking at the sun rising in the morning. Just imagine that sun rising in the morning, an orange sun coming up in your mind. Yes? You get it on your one side of your head, right? Imagine the sun rising in the morning, but the sun's color is purple. Can you imagine? It is tough. It is tough. Because that is not the truth. Isn't it? It's not the truth. Yes, no? So, your strong beliefs will be on one side, your disbelief will be on another side. And some part of you, I need to get this habit into me, will not be on the same side. Now, if you want to change that habit, you have to picture yourself doing something which you couldn't do today, and try to squish this picture onto the belief side. Now this takes a lot of time. Now I'm trying to talk to you on a 15-day program. I'm crushing it into a 1-hour program. It is difficult because you have to take partners, think, imagine, and all that. It goes on for time. So your strong beliefs and your disbeliefs will be on two sides, and we can change you by doing this squishing thing. Now you want to be a spaceman, okay? Now you decide, I want to be a rocket science engineer. And you close your eyes and you see a picture, okay? You can't be now, isn't it? So you develop on that. You model a person and you develop modeling on that, and you will definitely come to that level. Now, you're on school, when Dr. Prahlad passed through your school, his son said, I want to become astronomy, what is it? B subject, astrophysics or something. He wanted to join, and he has gone and joined Amrita College in Coimbatore. Very focused, I want to be this. Okay? So this happens when you have a very strong memory. You sit with yourself and talk to yourself. You will have to do it. Okay, another thing is your eye movement. Okay? Whenever, of course, Swamijis will be knowing whenever people lie. Very simple, looking at yourself, you will know, yes, this person is lying, he is not with me. I mean, simple tricks of the eye. A simple trick would be, you're listening to music, you have your earphones and you're listening to the music. Where will your eyes be? Your eyes will be horizontal towards the ear. You know, whenever you're listening to music, it will not be up or down, it will be low towards the ears. Okay? Now, when you're saying the truth, in some people, your eyes will look on one side. It could be the right side in somebody, in the left side in somebody. Okay? Your eyes will pop up this way. Okay? Imagine myself. I'm wearing a coat. I'm wearing a sort of a cream shirt. Imagine, and I look at it, look at myself, my picture is here. But if I want to imagine myself wearing a yellow coat and do it, when I do it, my eyes will go immediately imagining. This eye will move this side. So whenever I lie, my eyes will move this side. Okay? This trick the police will employ, even words. When you may practice 100 times, but still in some places you will miss out in the intensity, in the tonality, in the tone. I would like to do a small, sort of an experiment. 2 volunteers are needed. Yeah, you can just come up. 2 volunteers. I'll come here. Can you see both of them? Yeah, you come this side. I will ask the same question to both of them. Okay? Permit me, sir, with your permission. I will ask the same question to both of them, but I want you to notice their face. Okay? What's your name? Siddheshwar. Where are you from?
Raichur.
What is your father doing?
Agriculture.
So you saw him, very coherent, and he said, my name is Siddesh, I'm from Raichur. And his father is a agriculturist. Okay? Right? I'll ask the same question to this person. Okay? Just be. Okay, you have a... What's your name?
Kaushik.
Where are you from?
Bandler.
What's your father?
Banana trader.
You want to hit me? You really don't want to hit me?
No, sir.
But you are angry. Little. He is a little fearful. But normally what happens is, this person, he was a little taller than me. I'll want to hit you, sir. What is this you're talking to me like? See, when you change your tone, it affects your brain. Your brain will say, what is this fellow shouting at me for no reason? Right? So this thing happens. Sometimes your father, your mother will abuse you. Yeah, you can go back. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes your father, mother will raise their voice to tell you something. At that time, many of you or all of you will revolt. Why are you shouting at me? Can you not ask me in the same way? You would have promised your father, I'll come at 5 o'clock in the evening, and till 1 o'clock in the morning you're not there. 1 o'clock you come. What will your father and mother think? They will be angry, waiting for you. They can't sleep, isn't it? So at the door, as soon as you're, where have you gone? Immediately. That time, your unconscious brain immediately will tell you, why should I tell this fellow? I'm not going to tell him. This is a natural phenomena. This is a natural phenomena which will happen to each of us. So now that you know, you should change your behavior. Now that you know that whenever tonality, when tone goes up, you get angry, is a normal feature. So you have to tell him or react to that in a very calm way. Yeah, my friend met with an accident. I went to the hospital. I was in the hospital. Normal. Everything's over. But you react again. I won't tell you. Why should I tell you? It goes on. 2-3 days, your mother won't speak to you. Your father won't speak to you. Now, these things happen. So that is why I'm telling you, when you raise your tone, when you get angry, it doesn't work. You can't go forward. So you will have to know that. You have to know that you shouldn't get angry. Okay? So this tonality, raising your voice, even when you are angry. I can recite, just listen to this small story. Okay? You are riding a two-wheeler. Okay? You are riding a two-wheeler and going on a normal road. There's no traffic. You are riding the two-wheeler at say 40 kilometers per hour. You are traveling. Okay? Suddenly one guy comes from the right side and you hit and you fall. What is your reaction? Yes? Angry. You will react. You will shout at him. Yes? You will also abuse him. Yes? Yes, yes. Now, same story. You are going the same 40-50 kilometers. A guy from the right comes and hits you. You fall, you get hurt, and you look at him. He's your best friend. He's your best friend. How will you react? How will you react? How will you react? How will you react? Tell me. One person. You will not, sure. Well, friendly. You are the same person. In one case, you got angry and shouted. In the other case, you did not shout. You didn't get angry. Why is that? Why is that? Yeah, he is your best friend. So everybody can be your best friend, no?
Can be, sir.
So this is the thing I wanted to tell you. The same person reacts in a different way to different situation. You can change that if you want to, right? So you should know certain limits. Now if I get angry, what am I going to do? I may hit him, or he may hit me. It may turn up to go to the police station. So many things happen. But since he is your friend, you have reacted. Sit down. So this is one thing in life you should learn. If all goes well, everything goes well. If really accident happens, you can solve it out without shouting and screaming. And some of you, many classes, your teacher will be asking you some formulas and all that. Sir, my memory is poor, sir. Yes? Any people have told? Yeah. I have a very bad memory, sir. I can't do this, sir. This is not. Then the teacher asks, hey, this movie, what is this? This guy sings a song. No, I can't get that song. That person's one nice song comes. No. You immediately recite that song, isn't it? You sing the song and you say, I don't have a good memory. So you have to tell yourself, when I can memorize like this a song, can I not do it for my lesson? You will have to tell yourself. You will have to talk to yourself. You will have to prove to yourself. Yes, if I can sing this song by listening over the radio only once, why I am not doing this in my book? So with little bit of a practice, you can do very well. With little bit of practice, you can do extremely well in reproducing any result. Now all of you play games? All of you play games? Yes. Some of you do very, very well. Okay? That is on one side, games. How are you doing in one subject which you can't do? You will have one subject which you feel I'm not able to do, right? Yes? Yes. I had this boy John from this PC Thomas school, Good Shepherd High School in Ooty. Okay? This boy was not good at geography. He's a short guy like most of you, a short guy, but he was playing basketball. Can you imagine that? Extremely good basketball player. He's been awarded by the teacher, by the school many times. But he's not able to do good geography. He can't get good marks. So what can you do using NLP? You sit down with your geography book, okay? This is your geography book. You open the geography book or any subject which you think you can't understand, you keep it in front of you. Take the game you want to play in your mind. The last time I played maybe volleyball, basketball, cricket, football, hockey, and how you hit a goal and the thrill, the joy, get back into your mind. That, if you are visualizing, it should be on your face also. Meditation all of you do. So like that, you get into that field and then enjoy that moment and suddenly open your eyes and look at the subject which you can't do. First time, you cannot do it. Second time, you can't do it. Third time, you can't do it. Fourth time, you can't do it. Fifth time, you can't do it. 10th time, for all you know, this I can't understand. You yourself will say that. You yourself will say that. How did you do it? Richard Bandler says, if you can know to play marbles, you can understand the best of logic, the best of mathematics, the best of physics. Anything which you feel is impossible, you can do it because the brain is only one. You have only one brain. If the brain can understand playing marbles, it has to understand any subject you can take up. So you will have to think that way. You have to tell yourself, no, I'm playing so well, so I can do well. Right? So that way, if you take up a subject, get onto the play, imagine. Now many of you in your lower classes, say first standard, second standard, you would have scored 100 marks in some subject. Yes? No? Yes. At home, what would have happened? Your father, your mother, your brother, your uncle, oh, very good, ishtan marks tandidiya. They'll bring a cake, they'll give sweet, you celebrate. Right? If you have done it once in your lifetime, my friends, you can repeat it. You can repeat it only with practice. You have to practice. You go back to time where you're celebrating that moment, then look at the subject which you don't understand. It works. Maybe at some point of time, maybe if there is some other time, I'll come and we'll take in small batches and try to get it to you. You will know how easy it is. I was relating to Swamiji of an incident, and again in Ooty, where this boy was excelling in music, playing the drums. They were associated with the London School of Music. The third time he had failed in that music class, in that band, whatever. Why? The teacher comes in his suit, comes to the class, the boy is not able to perform. Fear. Yeah? He gets fear into him and he is not able to not able to play the drums. He gets failed. So we talk to him how you can get over it. Okay? How you can get over it. We talk to him, and immediately after the next exam he passed, he wrote a letter to me saying, "Sir, I have passed the exams this time." What did I do? Nothing. Isn't it? Did I do anything? Nothing. I just told him the trick. It's only his brain. He himself has done it. Right? So you can do whatever you think is impossible. So today you have scored only 35% marks in one subject. The next class exams, I should get at least 70. You aim at that, I can do it, you can do it. Now I'll come to the this board a little while. I still have about 15 minutes. I will talk to you something which you will have to remember for your lifetime. And even to people whom you feel you can transfer it. Something called USA. U is to look up. Whenever you are in a slight sorrowful mode, you are always, how are you sorrowful? When you are sorrowful, when you are sad, when you are depressed, you are always like this. Your head will be down. Yes? So, if you see another person like that, what is your priority? You should see that that fellow looks up. Right? You should see that somehow or the other, that person looks up. If he looks up, his depression is out. So looking up strategy works wonderfully well. Extremely good. Many times in the class, the first 5 minutes you'll be attentive, the next 10 minutes you'll be attentive. After that, you are gone. Somewhere you go away. At that moment also, if you can look up, you can come back to the subject. You can look up and come back to the subject. You can try it out. It works 100 times out of 100. What I'm trying to tell you is, emotion is chopped. Now, even if you have somebody who passed away in your family and you're very sad about it, you can look up, get that incident, get that memory in, but you can't cry. You will never be able to cry. When you look up, you cannot cry. So emotion is chopped. Just like by default, your computer works on by default, something else will happen. Similarly, when you look up, by default, your emotion is chopped. Your emotion is chopped. When I meant emotion is chopped, when somebody is very angry with you and abusing you, if you make that person look up, he will not be able to shout. We have tried this in one of the hotels here in Mysore, myself and Raghu. We were, taking a class for the bearers. Okay, the bearers of that hotel. And we told them this is the strategy. You should see that the customer, whenever he's talking to you or at the end of the whole lunch program or dinner program and you're giving him the bill, you give the bill, that time you somehow have to see that the guy looks up at the ceiling. At that point of time, he will react or he will respond very nicely. Otherwise, you had it. He will abuse you. If something is wrong with the dish, he is going to abuse you. So we had told him that even at home, if your father is angry and is in a very bad mood and he is shouting, if you can sort of change his mode to looking up. Now, I wanted to start this class with, imagine a big chandelier on top here. Imagine that. Can you imagine? Yes? A green chandelier. And it's a beam of light is falling on you. Yes? Now, what happens when you look up? Your emotion is chopped. You come back to me always. So even if you have gone away, I can come back to you. So looking up strategy is one. Then is smiling. Smiling at yourself. Have you ever tried? You smile at everybody, yes, understood. But when you're looking in your mirror in the morning, can you smile? How do I look? Am I looking nice? This smiling is something which produces very good endorphins in you. Okay? So when you smile at yourself for nothing, I was talking to another Rotary Club and asked one of the old doctors, Kutapa, you drive the car so stern and you look at the road like this and drive. What will people think? Why don't you smile and drive? So Ramki, if I smile and drive, that fellow will think I'm mad. So what? So what? You are in a good, healthy situation. You are producing very good endorphins, right? So, smiling at yourself, you have to do. U is looking up, S is smiling, A is appreciation. You appreciate anything and everything in life, you have won a big war. Some of you will say, I don't like badnekai, I don't like hagelkai, I don't like this kai, that kai. You will say that, isn't it? Yes? And you go home and the first thing on the table is that vegetable which you don't like. You think your mother will be happy when you shout at her? So you have to appreciate, in a sense, preempt. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ತಾಯಿ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಇದು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. You preempt it, the pre-thought into your system. Today my food in the ashram here in the evening is going to be excellent. You go there, it has to be excellent, nothing less. So you is looking up, smiling, appreciate. If the person you meet in the morning and you feel 100% sure that something is wrong with him, you can't tell him, hey, you look so sad, man. No, it doesn't work. You can see him sad, but you can't push him to sadness, right? You have to somehow do something. Oh, I thought, okay, just look up at the sky or something like that, push him up. Slowly in 5-10 minutes, that boy will talk to you what is wrong with him. Isn't that good conversation? Yes? Yes? Yeah, I think, sir, I can take this chunking and I do the board work. Can I? 5 minutes? Yeah. Hello? This I'm calling it just chunking. Chunking is making things smaller. I want to volunteer. Somebody POC up here. Yeah, come up. What's your name?
Shivankur.
Shivankur. Shivankur is with me. What is your goal in life? What you want to become? Astrophysicist. Shivankur's goal after his POC, his BE, is to be an astrophysicist. Shivankur, you become an astrophysicist. What happens to you?
I would like to, before becoming an astrophysicist, I would like to get into...
Let's look at, you become an astrophysicist.
I want to look up to the stars and think about what is happening in the universe.
Okay, he wants to see the stars, okay, in the universe. You see the stars. What happens?
I try to decide what's going on up there, what are they doing, how is like the motion of those stars, what are they doing up there.
You get all the information what you want. All information pertaining to stars, the planets, etc. Everything you got. What happens to you?
I try to research about the origin of this universe.
You try to research of the origin, you get that also. What happens to you?
I still feel that it's not enough and I have to do much more in life.
You have to do much more in life. You do that much more in life. You are doing that much more in life. What happens to you?
Since knowledge, the thirst for knowledge never ends, so I still continue researching in other fields also.
Okay, you do everything you want to do with knowledge, okay? You achieve that. What happens?
I try to look into other parts of my life.
Okay, he looks at other parts of life also. He achieves that also. What happens to you?
I try to like do something for the world.
You do something for the world, you achieved it. What happens to you?
I do something even greater such that the world is a perfect place.
Okay, he makes the world a perfect place. He achieves everything in life which he is born for. Okay? What happens to you?
I achieve something which I wasn't born for.
He achieves something which he isn't, whatever he is born for, he achieves everything. Okay? What happens to you?
I have fun with life.
He has fun with life. What happens to you?
After that, I'll be wandering around with, since everything I've has been done, I'll just try to invent new things I can do.
You invent that everything which is possible. Okay? What is the feeling you have?
Happiness.
That's all. Anything you do in life, anything you achieve in life ends up only in happiness. When you are happy, what happens to you? You'll be happy, right? Okay. To do astrophysics, what is the first thing you have to do?
How to survive the day.
Survive the day, no. Learn about astrophysics. What have you to do the first thing?
I have to learn what is astrophysics and read the books about it.
Okay. So he learns, join some class, join some institution. Okay. After joining the institution, what do you do?
I try to see that how I can develop in that institution to do something greater and achieve what I want.
You will see what has to be done to learn, you will see and do it, right? To see what have you to do.
Huh?
To see what have you to do. To see what have you to do.
I have to look inside myself and find what I really want.
To look, what have you to do?
I have to contemplate myself in my mind.
No, to look, what have you to do? To look, what do you use?
Eyes.
So, if you, to look, you use the eyes. You use the eyes. If you use the eyes and look at what have you to do, and then see within yourself, and then learn and join a course, you will get to be an astrophysicist. So whenever you take a topic, the ultimate thing is happiness. In life, anything you do, now you're passing through this phase, 2 years, he will finish his PUC, then go away, and after that he becomes an astrophysicist, he settles down in life, only he'll achieve what? Happiness, right? Similarly, so just by seeing, he is able to achieve a astrophysicist job, right? Thank you, Shiv. This is what, when you make your goal into pieces, it is only using your eyes, or you should have just move your legs, or you have to move your fingers. I took up a topic of buying something. Finally, it came down to telephoning somebody. How do you telephone? Oh, how do I telephone? I'll go to the telephone and telephone. How do you telephone? Use your fingers. So just imagine, by using your fingers, you achieve something. Okay? So with this, I'll sort of wind up. Now it's a question time, 10 minutes. Some of the things I've chopped off. Anybody who has questions? can ask me. Somebody. Yes?
Good evening, sir. Sir,
evening.
how do you control those impulsive reactions when you get angry or something? And how does it affect your brain?
Okay, you're angry, you want to stop it.
Yes.
You're
How do you
angry.
control those impulsive reactions?
Impulsive reaction. Yeah, you get into an impulse of anger, right?
Yes, sir.
So one of the strategy again is to look up. That you have to develop that habit. If you develop that habit, for anything and everything, you will just look up. So when you look up, your anger mode, your emotion goes off. You know, I asked, one of the boys, I asked in a very low tone, right? The other person, I raised my voice. I pretended to be angry. So if I had looked up, I can't reproduce that. If you have gone to anybody's house where there is a death, you would see everybody sitting near the coffin and crying. If you see how you can give that person a cup of tea, if you have noticed, the person serving the cup of tea will be above the person who is kneeling down. For some reason, they'll make that person look up. And when they look up at you, you just give the glass, the tea will go in, or the glucose will go in, or the water will go in. But if you don't make that person look up, it doesn't work. The moment you look up, the emotion is chopped. At that point of time, you should just stuff that glass and that water, that glucose, things will go in. This is again Richard Bandler's trick only. Okay, looking up strategy even for the most depressed person. If you can make him fly a kite, he says, the depressed person will never look up. You have to make him look up. How do you do it? Fly a kite with him. Galipata harsodo. If the moment that kite goes up and he is able to look at the kite for minimum half an hour, 2-3 days, he need not be taking any antidepressants. It works like magic. Right? Any phobias you people have, some people say, I don't like this, I get scared of rats, I get scared of cockroaches. All this session, some other day I will come and probably see that it is. Any other question, please?
Good evening, sir. So my name is Vedant and I'm from class 9B. So I have this question. So how does this Neuro Linguistic program help the person who has autism?
Autism. The autism is a difficult thing where the brain is not able to function properly. It's a wonderful question. Give him a round of applause, please. Yeah. No, normally autism, it is a difficult subject to handle. Now, even in phobias, this claustrophobia, people who are scared of open spaces, we cannot address them. So autism also, I don't know, I really don't know, autism, whether this thing you can work, because it's a difficult question, because the brain is not completely 100% working. But I have seen horses. There's a line of treatment in Bangalore, equestrian, where the child is taken to the horse and the child develop a relationship, and autistic children are getting better. So the communication with an animal and the child takes place. Now these things work. So anything beyond NLP also should work. Thank you. Wonderful question. One more.
Good evening, sir. My
Good
name
evening.
is Parikshit from first PUC, sir. So my question is, how do we overcome fear, sir?
Fears. Okay. Can somebody volunteer? We have time, sir. Yep. Can this person who is fearful can come No, I'll just take anybody, you need not share the incident. You can come up here just for, you just come up. Just come up. I'll speak from here. Come. See, we'll pretend he has a fear. We'll pretend. He also will pretend that he's got a fear. Now, we are not sharing any content. We are not sharing any content with anybody. We are not sharing any content, and I don't need to know the content. Now, what do we do? It's all about perception. Now, I want you to see yourself sitting here, sitting in your room, in your dormitory. You are on your bed. Okay, I want you to think about yourself sitting in the auditorium here. Can you do it? Yes? Imagine. Yes? Yeah? So this is a trick which you use for phobias. Now, this person has got, say, I will assume that he is scared of snakes. Okay? If he sees a snake, he becomes very, very jittery, very fearful. He's scared that the snake is going to bite him, right? We'll take it. It's an assumption, okay? He is really brave. He knows he can handle snakes. Now, I did this to one person who is presently the director of one Vinyas Technologies. He went on. He had a real fear of snakes. He went on to catch the snake, put it into the bag, and then he called me. Ramki, it's working. Okay, so what do we do? See, we'll be making a movie in the mind only, about how he sees a snake, what happens to him, and then it's momentary, Once the snake leaves, his fear goes, right? Yes? So this movie is about this person seeing the snake, and he runs away or whatever, he gets that fearful mode. When he closes his eyes and then imagines a snake, I should see the entire emotion on his face. Okay, so I will tell him to look at the snake once or twice, then we'll make a movie. We'll make a movie of him seeing the snake, then he gets fearful, then he goes off. So then we make that, it's all imaginary. It's all imaginary. We put it into a pen drive. We come to a theater like this, an auditorium. Then I tell him, only once we are going to play it forward. He's standing, he sees a snake, he's fearful, he runs off, the snake goes. That is the movie he's making. Then we go to this theater, and I'll ask him to sit. Okay. Then I also ask him, you are sitting here, you go to the projector room and play that pen drive. Okay, he gets into that perception mode. He sits here, imagine himself going to the projector room, and he's going to hook on this pen drive to the computer, which is going to show him the picture of him seeing a snake. Understood? Yes. That time he gets scared. Then what I do is, I rewind this film, and I will play it henceforth in the backward mode. Backward mode means everything backwards. He sees a snake, everything will be in backward mode, right? I will ask him to see the picture backwards. Not once, not twice, not thrice, some 5-6 times. So what I'll do, first time, I will tell him, okay, go and play the picture in the backward mode once. He does it. Again I do it. Then I'll tell him, you come and you sit down and watch the movie. He sits down and sees it in the backward mode. Everything going backwards, okay? Then I tell him, you get into the movie. You are seeing yourself in the movie, again backwards. So we do this about 2-3 times. Okay? Then suddenly I will jerk him and ask him, what did you have for tea today? After that, his fear of snakes will go away. Now it's difficult, I know, it's difficult for you to understand in a simple thing like this. I've handled big people who are scared of even injections. One big lady, BSc third year, she said, if somebody takes a needle, sir, I faint. Such person also goes through this session and it works. Thank you. This is how we do. Thank you. This is how we do it. Any phobia you have, we make a picture and we do it. It's difficult, probably only on a phobia session, possibly if I can come and teach you how to go away or lose the phobia. One last question maybe. Yes? Science behind this is pure common sense. One. The next is people studying psychology say you're using one of our theorems, one of our subjects, one of our chapters, you're copying it. No. It's just like, if you can see a snake. See, for example, one of the tricks, again, Richard Bandler does is, you say you have a phobia of, say, a rat, okay? And every day you pray on top auditorium, or you go and you're praying every day, okay? Pardon? No, it's again psychology only. It works on psychology only. So that's how psychologists don't agree with Richard Bandler, and Richard Bandler doesn't agree with psychologists, because psychologists and psychiatrists will treat you by giving you medicine. Here, he does not touch allopathic medicine or any medicine. It's only talking to you, talking to you, talking to you. So how it works, a proof of practice is only seeing the pudding. It's working. So that's how it is done. It's a good question. Yes? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words of inspiration. You gave us a very interesting insight on NLP. Your points were very interesting and it was very interactive, and I'm sure everybody enjoyed this. I thank Swamiji for arranging this program, and I'm looking forward to more of these programs. Now I would like to invite Swamiji on stage to hand sir a memento as an appreciation of her. We will end the program with Shanti Matra.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.